Okay, now we're going to talk about inverse functions. Inverses are used when we know, we usually put in an input and get out an output. Inverses are used, I have a desired output. You work backwards to see what input we give to that. We're going to keep it pretty simple right now. An inverse relation is the set of ordered pairs attained by exchanging the coordinates of each ordered pair. You're just flipping x and y. The domain of a relation becomes the range of its inverse, and the range of the relation becomes the domain of its inverse. So range and domain just change. The x's and y's just change. If the original relation is a function notated by f of x, and its inverse is also a function, the notation for the inverse is f. That -1 is said. You just say this as f inverse of x. Okay, so we're given a set of 3 points, and we're told to find the inverse. I mean, literally all you do is switch the x and the y. 5, 1, 6, 2, and 7, 3. It's going to get more complicated than that, but if you're given a thing like that, that's all you do. Mostly what we're going to do is graphically. So again, all you do is switch the x's and y's. Use easily identifiable points on the graph and just switch x and y. So I look down here and I see 4, 7. You don't want to choose like, 3 look pretty good. It looks like all of them look pretty good. You don't want to choose anything that like doesn't come out to a nice neat whole number, because you can choose any points you want. Delta Math will make you do 5 new points. So you look for ones where they cross nice and neatly. 4 goes to 7. We see the graph crosses the point 4, 7. So I'm going to plot 7, 4, which is right there. I go over 7, 4. So my 4, 7 turned into 7, 4. This line is here because all inverses reflect over this y equals x line. You don't need to worry about it too much right now. We'll get into this a lot throughout the whole year. Okay, so I see 3, 4. If I just work down next. So 3, 4 is going to become 4, 3. So I go over to 4 and up 3, and I plot that point. What do we got next? 2, 1 is going to become 1, 2. It's going to hit right there. 1, 2, I'm sorry, right there. I need 5 total for Delta Math. So I see 1, -2. So I'm going to go to -2, 1. -2 and 1. And then I see 0 and -5 is going to become -5, 0. And there I get my line. So this is the inverse of this. So you just find the points on the line or on whatever graph you're given and just invert the points. Even if you're given a parabola. You pause it here, kind of try to draw the points you see that you can do. Draw them here and pause it here and work it out and come back and check your answers. Okay, I looked at -9, -5 first. So -9, -5 becomes -5, -9. That's going to be like the vertex of my new parabola. Then I see -8, -4. So that's going to become -4, -8. I also see -8, -6. That'll become -6, -8. You can see you're going to kind of start forming the same parabola here, just facing upwards. What do we got next? -5, -3. That's this point is going to become -3, -5. And then also -5, -7 is going to become, that should be, sorry, I forgot to change that one. That should become -7, -5. And there you go. Now we need to learn to do it algebraically. So if you're given one like this, two of these things, there's really only a couple steps here you really got to do. The first thing is you want to change f of x to y, just for the sake of doing this. Here's the weird part. You're going to switch x and y. Now what we're going to do is solve for y. We're going to get y by itself. So I'm going to subtract 8 from both sides. I promised that was an 8. Now I need to multiply by the reciprocal. I'm going to multiply both sides by negative 5 over 4. Because that'll cancel out. Negative times negative is a positive, so the negatives cancel out. The 5 over 5 cancels. The 4 over 4 cancels. I end up with just 1 right there. Don't need to write the 1. Now we got to do distribution. Negative 5 over 4 times 8 would be 4, and 8 would reduce to 2. So negative 5 times 2 is 10. And so there you go. Now I have my new equation of my new line. So now the last step is really nothing. I don't even think delta math will make you do this. You would change y to f inverse of x. And there's my inverse. Okay, let's try one more together. This one has a little bit of weird thing, and it's just delta math is going to be picky. They want it in the form mx plus b. So we start by changing f of x to y. We switch x and y. And now we're going to solve for y. We subtract 6. And now I'm going to divide by 3. Normally what I would do is just put everything over 3. They want it, the problem with that is that not going to be in the mx plus b form. So we're going to multiply both sides by 1 over 3, the reciprocal of 3. Delta math wants it in mx plus b form, so we multiply both sides by 1 over 3. 1 over 3 cancels out the 3. 3 times 1 over 3 is 1. Now we distribute. We're going to have 1/3 x, and 1/3 of 6 is 2. So there's my function. Change it to f inverse of x. For most anything else, let me erase this. Oops, that's not erasing. Here, I would just divide by 3 and divide by 3, and to me, you're done. Okay. I think that is a perfectly acceptable answer, but delta math is going to want it like this. If you see it, you get to here and you realize this is x over 3 minus 6 over 3. You could have a common denominator, which is 1/3 x minus 2. You get back to it. So whichever direction you want to go with that, it's just when they have those whole numbers that you end up dividing by. Dividing, when you have the fractions to get rid of, it's really not so bad. So here, your turn. Pause it here, work this one out, and come back and check your answer. Okay, I can see I made a mistake on my thing here, so I'm going to do it by hand. So we have y equals negative 2 over 3 x plus 10. I'm going to switch x and y. X equals negative 2 over 3 y plus 10. We subtract 10 from both sides. Negative 2 over 3 x. Now I need to get rid of this, so I'm going to multiply both sides by negative 3 over 2. So I'm going to have negative 3 over 2 times x minus 10 equals y. That should have been y, I'm sorry. Now I'm going to do my distribution. So negative 3 over 2x, and then 3 over 2 times 10. That'll become 5. 3 times 5 is 15. Negative times negative, positive. So F inverse of x equals negative 3 over 2x plus 15. There you go. There's inverses.